Hey everyone, Will here, founder of GoToMarketGuru.com. In this third and final module of the Breaking into Software Sales mini lecture series, we're going to talk about interviewing and getting the job. In this particular section, we're going to focus on something called reconnaissance. So what are the different levels of analysis and study that you have to do before you go in and interview? We'll talk about a breakdown of those before moving on to the actual Q&A in the following modules. I hope you enjoy. Feel free to like and subscribe. Check us out.
We're going to start off with something called reconnaissance. And essentially what I mean here is you want to learn absolutely everything you can about the sector of the company you're applying to, the company itself, all the different product and service categories, the position that you're applying for, and the people who already work there. You want to be holistic and you want to be extensive in how much you prepare. You should spend at least 1 to 2 weeks learning everything you can for the interview. And we're going to dive in the next slide and discuss each of these different aspects in detail. So to start off, we're going to go back to our familiar levels of analysis: sector, company, products and services, position, and people. I hope that I'm starting to ingrain this in your mind by now. I'm repeating it on purpose. And second, we'll look at what to look for each. So let's dive a little deeper. So sector. What is the sector size of the company that you're looking to apply to? What is the sector growth? Is it increasing? Has it stalled? Is it decreasing? Who are the major participants? Any current events going on? And now you could make this as simple as, hey, I'm applying to the cybersecurity space, which is where I was. The major players are Cisco and Palo Alto and FireEye, and some current events. There's been some ransomware breaches, and a lot of companies are having their IP stolen, what have you. Simple things like that. So they're talking points in the interview. The company itself, you can spend probably 30 minutes getting this information. So what's the founding date? That's important. How long has it been around for? Just kind of a ballpark of annual revenue. Is it in the 50 million, 100 million, 200 million, billion range, what have you? Funding round, this is relevant to the stage of the company. So is it a Series A? Is it Series C? Is it pre or post IPO? FTE count, how many employees do they have? Pretty simple. HQ location, where are they based? Pretty simple. Area of operations, do they sell primarily to the US market? Are they global? What have you? Product and service lines, this has already been touched on, but what are their key product and service lines? Maybe 2 to 3, just show familiarity, and we'll touch on this in a moment again. Key competition, maybe list 1 to 2 main competitors and have an opinion. Have you gone on through their website? Have you looked to see if they've been in the news? Any items on company culture like sustainability or company trips? Any competitive advantages you can notice about the company that makes them different? Now let's move on to products and services. So what are they, for one? We've already mentioned this. What problems do they solve? How do they work? Who buys them? What does the normal client look like? And what's their problem? What price points are they? This might be harder to find, but scouring around on the internet will at least tell you if they're a premium price product or lower tier. How do they compare to the competition? You might be able to come up with a general note. It could just be the aesthetics of the website. It could be the geographies that they operate in. Or it could be, maybe you'll find a competitive mapping that shows you some features they offer that the others don't. Learn them well enough to pitch them in the interview. You want to be able to show them that you've at least thought critically about what you're getting into, because this might turn out to be where you work for the next couple of years. So it's somewhat important. As far as the position is concerned, look at the responsibilities, the job description, salary expectations. You can find that on Glassdoor. And then look at the internal and external trajectory so you know what you're getting into. Where have people gone internally who worked in this role, and where have they gone once they left the company? LinkedIn's a great resource for this. And that brings us to people. Managers, who will your boss be? Who will you be reporting to, and who do they report to? Look at the target position, see how many other people are in it. Are there any other go-to-market department roles like marketing or customer success? How well developed is the GTM team? That'll give you a sense of scale and how much support you'll receive. Build a profile of current and ex-employees and assess their paths. That may sound like overkill, but all I mean is go on LinkedIn and kind of skim around and see what you can find, and compare and contrast your profiles with those of the people that already work there. I say it again, this might sound like I'm encouraging too much, but if this is going to be the next 2 to 3 years of your life, spending 3 hours at least going through these different levels of analysis is going to work wonders on you and impress people in the interview. I remember my first interview when I broke into software sales. I sat down, I had rehearsed the website, I gave them a pitch of the company and the product, and I rehearsed each of their resumes. And they basically said, you already know the company better than we do, and I got the job a few weeks later. So it pays to show that level of care. And with that, we'll go on to crafting your story in the next slide.